Okay, you're going to be so excited about this recording. Here we go. This is all about peak performance. And how this got started really was I asked my teenagers, when do you achieve peak performance during the day? And I asked, are you diurnal? So you have your energy during the day? Are you nocturnal where you're more active at night? And they rolled their eyes at me and they were like, we're not diurnal, we're not nocturnal, we're occasional. I'm like, occasional? Oh my God, these people. So it begged me to ask the question of when is the right time of day for you to achieve your peak performance? And of course, I've got slides for you on this one too. Here we go. I'm going to get us there. So when are you at your peak performance? So recently, for example, I took on several projects with several really big deadlines. And I was asking myself how I was planning on maintaining my energy to get all of them done to my standard on time. So I asked myself, have you ever woken up tired instead of feeling refreshed? Have you ever found yourself going through the day in like a fog? Sometimes you can actually feel how much effort it takes to think something through. Does it seem like sometimes it's harder to get up the stairs than other times? And even the same workout could feel 10 times harder on a different day. Why do you think that is? So my question really is how do top achievers perform during low energy days? Because sometimes you just don't got it. And then really I think it's about planning. Is it possible to plan a quiet day when you have a low energy day? Athletes teach us to hire coaches to train effectively. They also teach us to plan for rest as well as for peak performance. What happens when it's one of the days when you need to be at your best to make a presentation, to complete a project, be creative, figure out a solution, or run the race, to do the heavy lifting and beat the competition? So, what if it's one of the days when you need to be on point, but it's a low energy day? What do you do then? So that's really what got me to thinking and pulling this together. So then I ask you, what if it were easy to do whatever it takes to cross your own personal or professional finish line? So, how do you cross your finish line at your peak, whatever day it is? And my question is then, what if you not only knew what you were capable of accomplishing and that you could accomplish it as far as, and your accomplishment far surpasses whatever you thought you possibly could? What if you knew you could be your strongest to achieve the big wins? What if there were just a few simple steps to make all the difference to achieve peak performance every single day? That's the question that I'm going to ask you here, because there are many things that you can control in life, and there are plenty of things that you can influence that will position you to be at your strongest, your smartest, your fastest, your most resilient to surpass obstacles and achieve your dream goals. Top performers may be predisposed to be more capable than others, whether it's nature, their genes, or nurture, or how they were raised. You can influence pivotal factors to contribute to your own success. And here is how. So, what I'm suggesting you do here, and I have a worksheet that you should have attached to this, is to consider these areas, and these are going to be there's columns for each thing based on the time of day. How mentally sharp are you? Like in the morning, do you feel like at your best? I think I'm at my strongest between like 10 and 2 o'clock. So if I'm going to put a presentation that I really want to nail well at my very best, I'm going to try and put it between those hours, because I know for me, that's when I am at my strongest. So that's on a daily basis. On a weekly basis, I also know that I have highs and lows during the week and during the month, and actually during different quarters and different seasons during the year. I have, like, September is a really good month for me to focus on health. I know everybody is doing it in January, but September sometimes is, it's so often that's my winning month when I'm super strong. So think about those kinds of patterns in your life. And then on a daily basis, because sometimes it's too hard to think, well, on August 15th, I'm going to be my smartest. But you can do it on a daily basis and keep a record of this. You don't have to do every hour by hour. It depends on how detailed you are to get the information, but you can start to see patterns even if you put in some information. So on a scale of 1 being weak and 10 being strong, when you wake up in the morning, what time is it that you wake up, and how mentally sharp do you feel? Like, is this your strongest time mentally? How emotionally together do you feel? Like, somebody could give you a big challenge, an emotional challenge, and you'd be able to get through it better than maybe 3 o'clock. If I haven't eaten anything all day and at 3 o'clock, my blood sugar will dump. And if you give me something then, I'm not going to be quite as sharp. I may not be as emotionally stable. And then when are you physically the strongest? When do you feel like you're most energized? Again, for me, going to work out after work in the evening, that's a hard one. I do get revitalized when I do it, but I know that waking up in the morning and getting the workout in first thing, that's when I'm going to nail it. So these are the things that you want to look at, because this is the way that you can, if you get an idea on how strong you are throughout the day in these arenas, then you can put your challenges in place. I think you're getting it now. I can almost feel it. So when do you feel most creative? When do you feel like you can handle adversity the best? And it can be any response, just take a guess. And when do you feel most connected to people, things, places, pets, that sort of thing? And we do this because even in an out of control situation where your brain may be grinding on an issue, preventing you from resting, you can adjust even one of these factors, and that's going to have a beneficial effect on all of them. So here we go. And I will talk them through. And we've talked about them before, because there's sleep. So sleeping, you can change the environment, your daytime habits. They're all naturally support maybe where your bed is in the room, how is the air, how's the temperature, is there a flow of oxygen? A good night's sleep will help you avoid depression. It helps you feel more invigorated and inspired. Setting a bedtime actually is a really good habit. Allowing for lots of light in the morning and decreasing that throughout the day actually helps. Avoiding caffeine after midday. So there's sleep. Hydrate. You're made of what, 60% water? Water helps regulate body temperature. It helps lubricate the joints. It helps nourish all of your cells. It's a good way to tell if you're feeling hydrated properly is to check the color of your urine. If it's colorless or light or yellow, you're likely in good shape. But if it's amber or dark yellow, you could be at risk for dehydration. And you could consider drinking more water and eating non-starchy fruits and vegetables as a hydrating snack. So don't wait till you're thirsty. As the American Heart Association notes, feeling thirsty is an indicator that you're already dehydrated. Nourishing your body with healthy food, healthy water, good clean water, and making sure that you're fueled correctly for the energy that you need. So if you're eating nutritionally dense food when you're hungry, you're going to be fueled to go for that run later in the day or whatever it is that you want to do. And also realizing how you respond to stress. There are extreme stressors in life, and knowing that you can respond to them well and how your body responds to them is going to change the way that you handle adversity. Mindset, we've got a whole workshop on mindset here, because knowing that the way that you see things can change the outcome could change everything. So it's mind over matter. It's when your internal conversations constructively support your inner voice as your best friend. Then you can guide your thoughts based on your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and outcomes. And if one of those needs to be changed, you just need to change it a little bit to change that process, and then you'll get a more positive outcome. But not paying attention to how you care for yourself could easily result in overlooking really relevant factors that could result in anxiety, loss of enthusiasm, depression, and serious health concerns. So in addition to building resilience to external influences, consider what you can do to reinforce your internal resilience, to ensure that your mind and body are as nimble as possible to earn your winning achievement. Consider making observations of how your mind and body perform throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the year. Notice when you haven't fueled yourself or cared for yourself in the best way to perform the way that you want to. So attached to this module is a worksheet, and it's got the time of day, and there's a 24-hour time. So there's no way that you can actually address all of it, but see what you can fill in each of these categories of, are you your mental acuity, your emotional support, how creative are you? Do you feel physically strong? Whatever that topic is, just give it a 1 to 10. When you woke up in the morning, this is how you felt. And then how did you nourish yourself? How much sleep did you get? How much water did you support yourself with? Did you nourish yourself with, densely nourished food? I've got the wrong word in my head, but you know what I mean. Densely nutrient food. And what happened then throughout the day, because you may start to notice patterns and observations that you wouldn't have seen if you hadn't taken the time to go through this. And you can see, when I eat this in the morning, my energy level drops at this point in the day. But if I eat little meals throughout the day, then my energy level stays high. So those are the kinds of things that I'm going for in this. And then you can make those little 10% adjustments so that you have peak performance throughout the day or when you need it. And you can also schedule for those days when you just want to rest, recover, or just go just flat out, take the time. So that's how you achieve peak performance. You got this.